What if you discovered that the voices you hear at night aren't just a figment of your mind? Join us as we explore the terrifying stories of those who dared to enter this haunted mental hospital. In the heart of the old, decaying town lies a building that once symbolized hope, but now exudes a sense of hostile, evil Greystone Mental Hospital. Built in the late 1800s, it was a beacon of hope for the mentally ill. But as the years passed, the reputation of this mental hospital was tarnished by dark tales, inhumane treatment, abuse of patients, and mysterious disappearances. It was a gloomy, foggy afternoon when Lisa, an amateur paranormal investigator, stood at the iron doors of Greystone. Determined to uncover the truth behind the legends, she gathered her courage and equipment, ready to spend the night in the haunted halls of the mental hospital. Lisa wasn't alone. Her friends Mike and Sarah, fellow enthusiasts of the supernatural, accompanied her on this daring journey. The three stepped inside, their flashlights casting eerie shadows on the peeling walls. The air smelled of mold and rot, and the creak of every wooden plank echoed down the desolate corridors. They set up their cameras and audio recorders in the main lobby, a grand room that once welcomed patients but now rejected all signs of life. "Everyone ready?" Lisa asked in a whisper. Mike nodded, adjusting his night vision camera while Sarah grabbed an EMF detector, her eyes wide with both excitement and fear. As the night grew darker, they began their search. The first few hours were peaceful, with only the occasional drip of water and the distant hooting of an owl breaking the silence. But as midnight approached, the atmosphere changed. The temperature suddenly dropped, and the sense of being haunted grew intense. In the old surgical department, where impossible procedures were once performed, Sarah's EMF detector suddenly spiked. "Guys, look at this," he said excitedly, picking up a device that was now glowing intensely. Lisa and Mike hurried over, the light of their torches dancing across the rusted surgical instruments and cracked tiles. "Is anyone here with us?" Lisa called out in a trembling voice. The response was immediate. A low, moaning sound echoed down the corridor, followed by a horrified whisper, "Help me." The three froze, their breath visible in the cold air. "Did you hear that?" Mike whispered, his face turning pale. Lisa nodded, her heart beating faster. "Let's follow it." As they moved deeper into the department, the whispers became louder and clearer. "Help, Emmy, .. Please." The voice seemed to come from every direction, enveloping them in a siege of despair. In one patient's room, they found an old diary hidden under a loose floorboard. The cover was torn, and the pages had yellowed with time. Lisa opens it, which contains the handwriting of a former patient, Emily. The diary entries painted a horrifying picture. Emily had been admitted to Greystone for some unknown reason, and she described the torture she suffered at the hands of a ruthless doctor named Dr. Caldwell. Emily's pleas for help went unheard, and her diary ended abruptly with a final, desperate message: "He's coming to get me. I can't escape. Please, if anyone finds this, avenge us." As they read the diary, the air grew colder, and the intense feeling of dread deepened. "We have to get out of here," Sarah said in a trembling voice. "This place is pure evil." But Lisa was determined. "We have to find out what happened to Emily. We can't just leave." They continued their search, their footsteps echoing down the deserted halls. In the basement, they found a hidden room, the door jammed with rust. With great difficulty, Mike managed to open it, revealing a small, windowless chamber. Inside, they found a torn dresser soaked in blood and some horrific pictures on the walls. The pictures showed a man, presumably Dr. Caldwell, performing horrific procedures on helpless patients. In the corner of the room, they found Emily's final resting place, a small, makeshift bed with shackles, and the remains of a skeleton still bound in chains. "Oh my God," Mike muttered in a barely audible voice. Suddenly, the temperature dropped sharply, and a figure appeared before them, a young woman with a translucent, ghostly form, her eyes filled with sorrow and pain. "Help me," she whispered, her voice echoing through the room. "Emily," Lisa asked in a trembling voice, "is that you?" The ghostly figure shook her head, tears streaming down her soulless cheeks. "He won't let me rest. You have to stop him." Before they could answer, the door slammed shut behind them, and a hostile presence filled the room. The air thickened, and they felt an invisible force pressing down on them. "We have to get out of here immediately," Sarah yelled, scratching at the door. Lisa turned to the ghost. "How can we stop him? Tell us." Emily pointed to a hidden compartment in the wall. Inside, they found an old medical file detailing Dr. Caldwell's death. Accused of his heinous acts, his soul was filled with anger and guilt, and it was trapped in the walls of Greystone. With that file in hand, they felt a fixation. They had to perform a purification ritual to release the tormented souls and banish Caldwell's spirit forever. Using the items they had, they performed the ritual, chanting the spells they had researched. As they finished, a shrill scream filled the room, and the pressing force was gone. Emily's ghost smiled, her figure blurring. "Thank you," she whispered and disappeared. The three staggered out of the mental hospital, the first light breaking on the horizon. They had survived the night, but the horror they had witnessed would haunt them forever. Subscribe to our channel to enjoy more such terrifying stories. See you with another spine-chilling tale.